Welcome to the SCP Foundation. We're happy to have you. This series of informational videos are intended to assist you with your transition into being a valued member of the Foundation. In this first installment of this initiation series, we will go over the basics of SCPs and the Foundation that contains or attempts to do so, as well as the rules you must comply with. First things first, we are called the SCP Foundation. This stands for Secure, Contain, Protect. We secure anomalies with the goal to keep them from falling into the wrong hands. We contain these anomalies to keep them from causing damage and panic to the public. And we protect humanity from these dangerous anomalies. Our goal is to hold these anomalies rather than destroy them and learn as much as we can from these SCPs. However, in cases where destruction is necessary, we will do it swiftly. Anomalies can come in the form of objects, creatures, or events. These anomalies are called SCPs, followed by an identification number. They are organized into 10 active classes determined not by danger level or lack thereof, but by containment ability by the Foundation. 1. Safe. These SCPs are able to be 100% contained by the Foundation and typically do not require too many resources to contain the anomaly. 2. Euclid. These SCPs are able to be contained by the Foundation, however, they need special additions to maintain their containment. Typically, this is due to a lack of understanding about the anomaly. 3. Keter. SCPs of this class are exceedingly difficult for the Foundation to contain. This can mean the Foundation is unable to contain the anomaly at all. 4. Thaumiel. These are the SCPs that can be used to contain other SCPs. 5. Neutralized. SCPs that have lost their anomalous effects or abilities. 6. Apollyon. This class of SCPs means that they are completely unable to be contained or will escape containment as soon as it has reached a contained status. 7. Archon. These are anomalies that could be contained, however, it is best for them to remain uncontained for whatever reason. We will now move on to explaining the subclasses SCPs may take on. Class 8. Explained. These are SCPs that are fully understood by the Foundation. 9. Pending. This is a temporary class given to an SCP while it is awaiting official classification. 10. Esoteric. Also known as the narrative class, these SCPs do not fit any other class listed, and so they are labeled as esoteric. While it is important to know all the classes an SCP can be labeled as, you may not interact with some SCPs with certain classes. It all depends on your staff class and your clearance level. Let's start by going over the staff classes. Class A. These staff members are not permitted to directly interact with any SCPs whatsoever. In the event of a containment breach, Class A personnel are to be evacuated first. Class B. These staff members are allowed contact with SCPs that have completed quarantine and have been proven to have no mind-altering anomalous abilities. Class C. Staff of the Class C type are permitted direct access to most SCPs that are mostly non-violent. If exposed to a mind-altering SCP, they must enter a quarantine and be evaluated for any mental distress or damage. Class D. These are the expendable personnel of the SCP Foundation. They are required to handle extremely dangerous anomalies and are not allowed to have direct contact with Class A or Class B personnel. D-Class personnel are typically criminals who have been sent to the Foundation from various places around the world to assist us in our research and containment of anomalies. Class E. These staff members act as field agents and containment personnel. Think of them as guards and hunters depending on their posts. Now that you understand the classes and what each of them do, it's time to learn what levels are and what each of them are permitted to do. Level 0. Level 0 holders have no access to anomalies and any information about them. They are typically in the role of janitorial staff and other such roles. Level 1. This level permits you proximity, but no contact with SCPs, either directly nor indirectly. These staff members also have no access to information on any SCPs. Level 2. Typically given to research and security personnel, this level gives access to SCP information. Level 3. This level is similar to Level 2, except is reserved for senior staff to access more in-depth information. Level 4. This level grants administrative access to both site-wide and regional information, as well as information on Foundation operations. Level 5. Level 5 personnel are of the highest ranking administrators and are given access to all information regarding SCPs and the Foundation. This final thing we will be covering in this informational introduction to the Foundation is all the possible roles you could one day act in as a member of the Foundation. If you are here as site staff, then there are 4 possible roles. The first being a containment specialist. Containment specialists ensure initial containment of anomalies and then transport them to a containment site. Tactical response officers assist the containment specialists in transporting anomalies to containment sites, acting as guards and capture assistants. You could also be a researcher. Researchers represent the scientific branch of the Foundation. They are in charge of conducting experiments on SCPs with the goal to learn as much as possible about them. Another role in the site staff team is security officers. They guard containment sites and the ones inside, including staff and the SCPs we're containing. If you are here as field personnel, then you can take up one of 2 roles. Firstly, you could be a field agent with the mission to help locate anomalies and notify the Foundation of their existence. Secondly, you could be a mobile task force operative, where you deal with specific threats that would be too much to handle for a typical field personnel. If you aspire to rise into an administrative position, you have 2 possible roles. There's the site director, who calls all the shots at their site and reports directly to the O5 Council on their site's status and findings. Then there's the O5 Council, full of the highest-ranking directors of the Foundation. The O5 Council oversees all Foundation operations worldwide and directs all strategic plans. All members of the O5 Council remain anonymous and are only to be referred to as O5-1, O5-2, etc. There are 13 O5 Council members total. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for joining the Foundation in our mission to protect the public and research what we can about the odd and unexplained. I'll see you in the next informational video on the SCP Foundation. We're happy to have you.